Take a whole, untouched clove of garlic and give it a smell. You won't notice much of anything, but the exact moment you slice or crush it, that famous, pungent odor instantly fills the room. That intense smell is actually a botanical defense mechanism, a chemical warning sign evolved specifically to repel hungry pests. This diagram shows a microscopic cross-section of a garlic cell. Deep inside, the plant produces two completely separate compounds, allicin and an enzyme called allinase. As long as the cellular walls remain intact, these two chemicals stay isolated and entirely dormant. But when an insect bites into the plant, or a chef brings down a heavy knife, those cell walls shatter. The two dormant compounds are forced together, sparking a reaction that creates a volatile, reactive sulfur compound called allicin. To a tiny insect, allicin is a deterrent. But human biology responds to this exact same chemical reaction by treating it as a potent antibiotic that supports our immune system. A botanical trap built to repel bugs became one of humanity's most reliable survival tools. 4,500 years ago, the pharaohs of ancient Egypt relied on this antibiotic trait. To keep the thousands of laborers building Khufu's Great Pyramid healthy and physically capable, they were issued daily rations of raw garlic. When supply lines faltered and the garlic rations ran dry, the laborers immediately stopped working. The resulting labor strike halted the construction of the Great Pyramid. Thousands of years later, on the battlefields of World War I, soldiers were suffering from severe trench wounds. Modern antibiotics had not yet been discovered, and infections were running rampant across the front lines. To fight the infection, British and Russian military doctors extracted raw garlic juice and poured it directly into open wounds. The allicin successfully stopped gangrene from spreading, earning garlic the nickname Russian penicillin. The same chemical reaction helped manage the health of ancient labor forces and treated battlefield casualties in the 20th century. This historical reliance on garlic eventually morphed into folklore, including the famous European myth that garlic could ward off vampires. But there is a medical reality behind the legend. During the Middle Ages, Europe saw outbreaks of a rare genetic blood disorder called porphyria. Sufferers experienced severe skin blistering when exposed to sunlight, and exposure to the allicin in garlic aggressively worsened their symptoms. A similar dynamic occurred in ancient Greece and China, where families hung garlic on their doors to ward off the evil eye. They weren't deterring spirits. The pungent sulfur compounds were naturally repelling mosquitoes carrying malaria and dengue fever. Warning tone, but you need to be careful if you have pets. While human digestion processes the allium family without issue, the exact same compounds act as a slow-acting poison to household cats and dogs. This microscopic image shows red blood cells, but in a pet's bloodstream, allicin triggers a condition called hemolytic anemia. The chemical systematically ruptures these cellular walls, which can lead to severe illness or death. The biological defense mechanism that protected human health throughout history can fatally compromise the bloodstream of our closest animal companions. For human cardiovascular health, the effects are well documented. Modern clinical studies confirm that consuming raw allicin boosts the body's production of nitric oxide. This animated diagram illustrates the mechanical benefit. The nitric oxide molecules interact with the walls of your blood vessels, forcing them to relax and widen. This physical expansion lowers high blood pressure and helps clear out bad cholesterol, reducing the risk of heart attacks. But many people remove this medical advantage the second they start cooking. Sizzling hot oil or boiling water instantly kills the allinase enzyme. If that enzyme is destroyed, it can't mix with the allicin, and the allicin never forms. To preserve the chemistry, use the 10-minute rule. Crush or slice your garlic and leave it exposed to the air for 10 minutes. That gives the two dormant compounds enough time to complete the chemical reaction and form stable allicin before any heat is applied. The next time you prep a clove on your cutting board, you are arming an ancient biological weapon. It supported ancient workers, fought battlefield infections, and with a 10-minute wait, it protects your heart.